Hi there, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman in the business today, Sonny Hersh, and your host, Avi Meyers.
Marty, you the man. What can I tell you? Anyway, I'm glad you were able to join us today on the Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Thursday before Election Day, it is time to vote if you haven't voted already. And Tuesday, make sure you get to the polls. And, of course, Jewish Chicago is already out. And you can see our previous shows and all our guests on the web at ntnm.org, run by my entire technical crew, Sonny Hersh. You can check out all the past shows and get all the information you need and be able to see live videos of all the different guests, as well as, don't forget, CAPS meetings, caps24.org, run by Sonny Hersh, chairman of the District Advisory Committee of the 24th District. Jewish Chicago, of course, is out. It's free. And if the copies at this point are gone, which they very likely are, if you go to our website at ntnm.org, we'll give you a link to be able to read it for free. But anyway, we thank you very much for the participation, and it's been a very interesting election season. And speaking of elections, of all things, I've actually got an elected official here today. So we're talking about the alderman of the 50th Ward, one of my favorite guests, someone it's a pleasure to have on here. And we're actually, even though it's the election, he cares enough about his neighborhood to talk about neighborhood developments. We're talking about Alderman Berny Stone.
Thank you. And there's a lot of things happening in the neighborhood. Hopefully, by the time this airs, I'll have gotten a continuance on a matter that's pending before the Board of Zoning Appeals. The Assyrian Church, St. Mary's on Chase and Francisco, is seeking a variance so that they can build a community center behind the church. I don't know all the details on it, and that's one of the reasons I'm asking for a continuance, and so I can get more of the details on it. And neighbors are somewhat concerned, particularly over the parking. They don't mind the fact that there's heavy parking there on Sundays when during church services, but they're concerned over the fact that a community center might mean heavy parking 7 days a week because the parking lot is very small and it spills over onto the community streets. And not only that, but the community center would be very close to the adjoining residents too. There's a vacant land behind the church, and apparently they seek to build on the vacant land behind the church. There's never been a problem between the neighbors and the church, and there's no problem between the neighbors and the parishioners. But if they're going to use it as a community center, they want to re-examine. First of all, they've never seen the plans or anything of that nature. So we're hoping that we'll be able to at least have an opportunity to review all these plans. By the time this airs also, there will be a community meeting, which I know you'll be at too, in the community. So, but this is going on the air after these things occur. Mm-hmm. The community meeting is occurring on Monday the 13th, and the Zoning Board of Appeals is set to meet on Friday the 18th. I'm hoping to have that meeting continued to at the board's next meeting after that. So in the meantime, we're working on this matter. The North Boundary Homeowners League is calling the meeting, and I'm working with them to get the neighbors together and trying to see what's happening here. I met with some of the neighbors at my office hours this week, and North Boundary Homeowners met with some of the parishioners at the church also. They met separately. But we're working on it, and it's something we're working out. So that's some of the news that's currently pending that we're working on. Some of the other news that's, that's pending is the Northwest Home for the Aged at California and Rosemont is been sold to a nursing home operator who lives in the community, but who's going to operate it as a nursing home.
So it's been a retirement home pretty much.
Yes, it's been a retirement home, and it's been a kosher retirement home.
Very highly thought of through the years.
Yeah, well, as soon as the Northwest Home gets its current residents out of there, it will no longer be a kosher nursing home. They, in turn, the Northwest Home for the Aged, has purchased Park Plaza.
Oh, wow. That I'm glad to hear. As the Northwest Home is a place I've always had a lot of respect for.
And
that was Judge Michael Zlotnick way back when.
That's originally it's from Palmer Square,
yeah,
where it was, which grew too small. Then they built the place on California and Rosemont. In fact, they even bought the air rights over the sidewalk and the parkway and built out over there so they could expand.
Yeah.
And now that's become too small, so now they've bought Park Plaza.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that they're still in business and kicking.
And they will be operating Park Plaza, and
they've been an exemplary home.
And
over the years.
It'll be a kosher facility at Park Plaza. And those people who worried about remember that townhouse deal that they wanted to expand?
The zillion million density.
Let me tell you about the people who operate the Northwest Home for the Aged. I said, well, I hope you're not intending to try and expand over the vacant land. Oh, no, what we'd like to do is build sort of a park where the residents can relax in the spring and summer and fall. And in fact, I'd like to. They told me they'd like to build a what do you call those?
Gazebo.
A gazebo there.
Cool.
And see that's people who are interested in their patients rather than making money.
Though those guys have always been an exemplary. It's a nonprofit organization, and those guys have always run an exemplary
it's
home.
Run by volunteers. In fact, I've been on their honorary board for years. I've been on the honorary board of Northwest Home for years. It's not. I mean, I don't have any interest in it, but I'm on their honorary board.
That's really good news for the whole community. It really is.
I'm delighted that this is happening, and these are very wonderful people. Irv Kupcinet was always involved there, and Senator Kolitz, and Senator played the violin with Bernie Nystine. Senator Nystine was involved. There's a lot of good people. George Dunn, President George Dunn was involved. Nice people. It's been you mentioned Judge Zlotnick. Of course, Judge Zlotnick was like the father of the home. It's very dedicated group. Seymour Abrams is, I guess, its president and one a major philanthropic supporter. So anyway, they're proceeding with Park Plaza.
Yeah, 5-minute warning.
Okay. I indicated to you that I would take the last 5 minutes to talk about the campaign. Well, I'm on the ballot twice, as is my opponent for committeeman. He's on the ballot twice, and I'm on the ballot twice.
Well, I know you're running as a delegate for Hillary Clinton.
I'm running as a delegate for Hillary Clinton. He's running for re-election as state senator. And then, of course, we're both running for ward committeeman. He's got first position. I have second position as ward committeeman, which means that I am the very last name on a very long ballot. And he is the next to last name on a very long ballot.
Oh, the last name's not bad. That's number 120.
That is correct. So I am asking all of your voters to start at the back. Start at the last name and we'll work forward. Actually, if you take your ballot and turn it over and vote for me. Then you can start that. You can turn it over and start at the beginning and vote for everybody else. So if you start at the end and vote for me, then you're in good business.
Well, in this particular case, it'd be the right thing to do. I must tell you that I'm extremely disappointed in your opponent, very disappointed.
Well, I'm not going to discuss the campaign. The campaign has been a very quiet campaign. Frankly, the sides are drawn. He's supporting Mr. Senator Obama. I'm supporting Senator Clinton. It took me a long time to get him to admit that he was supporting Senator Obama, but he's finally come out and admitted that he's supporting Senator Obama.
He's got Nazy Dollar going out and getting petitions.
Well, Nazy Dollar is an alternate delegate for
Obama.
For Obama.
Yeah.
And of course, Congresswoman Chakowski will be an Obama delegate also at the convention. But she'll be one of those that don't have to run. I have to run for that position. In any event, it's going to be an interesting convention. Right now, I would say that on February 5th, the date of the election, will also be the date that I believe that the presidency will, the Democratic nominee for the presidency will also be decided. That's what's not commonly known as Super Tuesday, and I believe that the delegates chosen on February 5th will decide who will be the Democratic nominee.
24 states up at the time we're filming. It's right after the New Hampshire primary, in which Hillary Clinton did surprise people pleasantly from my standpoint. I'm not an Obama fan at all.
And for mine also. And the fact is that no matter what had happened in New Hampshire or in the smaller states that are up earlier, like Nevada and the Carolinas and the other states, Michigan is up again. No matter what happened in those states, the real decision will be made on February 5th, because that's when major states like New York, California will be up for.
Oh wow! I didn't realize. So that's the big stuff.
Oh, that's Illinois, New York, California. Illinois is expected to go to Obama, but I would imagine that California and New York are going to go to Clinton, and if that happens, you can be. I think Ohio, Pennsylvania are also up on that date.
That's all the big stuff.
So that's the big states. Florida is also coming up before February 5th. So that's also a big number state.
Yeah, at this point we got to start wrapping things up.
But in any event, February 5th is going to be an important date, not only for Berny Stone, but also for the voters of the United States, because who runs for president will probably be decided on February 5th.
Now, I want to make it very clear to everybody that I've thought about this very carefully, and there's no question in the world that Berny Stone's the right guy for the job. I've been very disappointed in the campaign and the promises to both sides that are conflicting promises by your opponent, and I will definitely be pressing ballot 120, and Jewish Chicago, which is already out, has made my position very clear that I do in fact support Alderman Berny Stone. And if you go to our website at ntnm.org, you can see all the details, but there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. For the good of the neighborhood on so many grounds, the right person to vote for is Alderman Berny Stone. Ballot 120.
Avi, I thank you. I thank you for saying that, and I thank the other writers for Jewish Chicago for their support.
And thanks so much, Sonny Hersh, entire technical crew. Joe Chukche, thank you for bringing the alderman here. Stay tuned for Dorothy Brown and Mike Moses. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.